I'm Ayana Contreras. I'm here with Tank and Norman from Tank of the Bangas. And a lot of people came to know you all through winning the NPR Music Tiny Desk Concert in 2017. I remember that very well. I'm actually a judge this year for Tiny Desk.
You're a judge this year?
I am.
That's really cool.
So I think what's so unique is when you go back to all the winners, it's like, oh, what did they see in these people that was unique versus the thousands and thousands and thousands of submissions, and you all stood out. And I will tell you, my origin story for you is I was doing a radio show in Chicago, and I interviewed this guy named Ted Reederer, and he did a thing called Never Records in New Orleans.
I remember that.
Yes. And you came into that store, and the project was he recorded a vinyl of y'all performing and then kept one in the store. And they did it for lots of different musicians. And so when I interviewed him, I said, well, who's the person that really stands out from all the people that come in? He said, well, there's this lady, and Jonah, I think, was playing with you.
Jonah on the Cora.
Yeah, and it was a song called Eggs Over Easy.
Yep.
And they played it for me. Oh, wow. Incredible. And that was 2012.
That's amazing. Just the fact that we was a standout. That's so special to me. Wow.
But I mean, obviously,
it was fun too.
Right. Since then,
it's a freestyle.
Incredible.
It was so cool.
And you did record it in 2013, though.
If you say so.
2012.
You the one that got the memory talking about something, Jonah and everything. I'm like, good Lord, girl.
Because we made it what it was on the album. It was like 11 or 12 because we made it what it was on the album during probably 12 and put it out, or 12 and 13, and by December 13 we released Think Tank.
Right, at that time it was untitled because he told me he didn't have a title yet. That was long time ago. But anyway, since then.
Title feels so new to me on the slick.
Ooh.
Like on the slick.
On the slick.
Like on the slick, you know, like.
Did you say title or untitled? Untitled.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
When it was, because it was a freestyle, so.
Oh, okay, I thought you meant title, Beyonce and Jay-Z thing.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. Dang.
No. I found. Yeah, we back.
We're back.
So, but yeah, it was Ripperton Love and Eggs Over Easy.
Yeah, but since then, obviously, so much has happened.
Shout out to Jonah.
You all have recorded some amazing material. And what I love about it most is that I love New Orleans, and it feels very much like New Orleans today. Like, it feels like all that mix of things that influence, but then that modernism and the risk-taking and a little bit of the whiz mixed into. You know, tell me a little bit about, like, you all's collaborative process and how you fold the poetry into the music. Just what makes that special thing that people discovered those years ago?
Wow. Well, what made it so special that they did? I don't think that they had saw poetry put together in quite that way, an ensemble that looked the way we looked, the sound that we had. Everybody is always trying to categorize what type of music that is, and we can't even categorize it because it's just a feeling, and everybody is from someplace different, have different backgrounds growing up, and when you put that all together, it just do what it do, and we never really stop it from doing what it do. I think that's what makes it magical. And I was able to meet a poetry group years ago, Team Snow, who really welcomed in mixing music and poetry in a really special way.
Me being from Baltimore, Philly right up the street, and Dilla right not too far away. That Philly soul scene with the whole neo soul wave.
Like Black Lily, stuff like that, in that pocket?
Yeah, the Jill, the James Poison, major influence. That sound was kind of what made me want to start playing. So to get that and then end up in a place like Louisiana and meet somebody doing poetry at a poetry club. Shout out to the Black Star Bangas as well. You know, I had a Rhodes. I was dragging this big keyboard around because that was the sound. But it was dope to get to the South and see that be welcomed and see us be able to kind of, we covering Jill and Erica for like the first couple years, and then eventually we started going into different things and just evolved, but we always was ourselves at the same time.
So one of the things that's interesting is you all are playing a jazz festival, and of course I feel a lot of jazz in what you're doing in terms of the improvisation, in terms of the building, the layers, all of the things that you're doing. Do you consider yourself maybe not a jazz musician, but a musician that loves to play in that jazz space?
I mean, if you go back to the roots of it, and if I'm like literally thinking about like Nicholas Payton, he's like, jazz was a name that white folk just gave it to put it on You know what the black people
We'll
was
say
doing.
Black American music.
Black American music. That's what he liked to say. And so if it's that, then hell yeah. Hell yeah. All that feeling, all that soul, all that pain, all that hurt, all that love, all that emotion, all that history, all that trial. This is the music that I'm making. If you want to call it that, that's what somebody else call it, but it is Black American music.
So one song, all the songs, I like all the songs, but one of the songs that I was surprised you all put out, but I was very pleasantly surprised as a club DJ, No ID. And I know you're going to play this tonight because I heard it in the sound check. Where did that song come from? That song is for me, it hits all my favorite little.
Freestyle first.
Talk about it.
No, I had wrote it. I've been wrote
No,
it.
I'm saying, like, remember we did in the backyard for
Yes,
the
but I
portrait,
had
the
wrote it
portrait?
before that.
Right.
Yes, we was just in the backyard, and I was like, finding some
The
music,
music
too.
that went to it
Yes.
was like, for me, it was a freestyle. It was like, jumping.
Yes, that was the first time y'all had heard it.
Yeah, we did
Just
that.
pandemic writing.
Yep.
Pandemic writing. But the video, though, with all the skaters, like, Norman Ben thought that would be really cool. And it was cool. The
Four on the
skaters
floor.
stayed on their skates the whole time. And we really kind of featured them, all our New Orleans friend skaters. And it just feels good. And I think for the concept, it came to me of just the way that we could let people in our lives and we don't even know who they are. And when I say, if you're gonna see inside of me, I'm gonna need to see some ID. Meaning I need to know your life, I need to know your history, I need to know what's going on with you. Because I need to know what's going on behind that smile. So it's basically about not letting anybody in without no permission.
All right, so you all put out an album. Was it 2024? Pretty recent. It was like late.
Yes, our heart, the
last-
mind, and soul. Yes.
So what's next? I hate that question.
I
but
hate it
But
too.
y'all always in the kitchen though, and I'm nosy.
We don't be in the kitchen enough, but I'm glad you're being nosy because we've been in the kitchen.
Yes, I'm definitely having fun. I don't like if my label be like, it's time to make an album. I'm like, I make up when I'm ready to make an album. But I'm happy that I've been in there lately and we've been creating with people that we love, and I'm just having so much fun, and now I'm finally feel like I'm getting into a sweet spot with the music that we're creating. I feel like I'm finding sound, and I want just to make music that everybody can join in on, because we do so many festivals and so many shows that we just want the fans to be incorporated in the music too.
Look, I'm from Chicago. Say less. Say
We
less.
started messing with the idea of another album. I was like, oh, we gotta make them dance. We need some festival music, some sing joints,
Mama told me, you need to dumb it down, sis. I'm like, I'm not dumbing nothing down. You need to get it.
Make it simple enough for a child and a foreigner to understand. That's a writer's rule. House music, as Pharrell and Jimmy Iovine say.
I'm a poet.
She already
So
own a house. I
tell me
rent.
anything to dumb anything down. But a nice little medium is to have them chant things that feel good to me.
Well, that's the spiritual part of house, right? You've got the things the call and response, the repeating, the building together, the feeling of you're in this thing together type
Feels
bit.
amazing.
Yeah, it's special.
I realize some of the best songs ain't even got no daggone words on the hook. They say something during the verse. Why
Why you got to quote Earth, Wind, and Fire on it?
That wasn't even that. That was a whole nother
There's
one.
another one.
But that, that's that one.
The blue
That's
guy,
that
whatever
one,
it's
too.
called.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
And it
Crystal
Gypsy,
Waters.
yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like all the best joints.
That's a good point. International. When is your podcast coming out though?
Look, real stuff. Hello.
Meep.
Yeah, real meep, I think if Jelly was there too, we had some fun
Was there where?
in our podcast. If we did the three of us interviewing people.
I would never do a podcast with all three, or both of y'all. I would do a person with just her or just you, but not all of us. We would never get through it.
It would just be so funny.
They would just be ripping each other the whole time.
No,
Close to the skinny and
we
fat.
will
I
talk
know.
about everybody. You should hear them two together talking about
Shut up,
everybody.
that's our business.
They make up
Shut
so
up,
much.
shut up, dog.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh my God.
Thank you for hyping that though. Put it in the back.
Put it in the atmosphere. No. Okay, well, dream about it with me. All right. Well, I appreciate you all. I appreciate your time. I'm a fan. What is that? But
A fanatic. Don't be
appreciate your
that.
work.
It's
I
like, no.
appreciate your work deeply. Well, no, I walked upstairs and you
Jokes.
were like, "I see you," and I was
No,
like,
you was in the mirror.
"I know, and I saw you. You saw me. But
saw
why
you
you gotta make
seeing
it
us.
weird though?"
I ain't make it weird. What if you did looking at us in the mirror from the outside? Look, last night we did a show. We did a show last night. We had the show. Tank sitting right here on her phone.
dude.
And then there's a guy. They letting us use this coffee shop as a green room. He's at the window like this.
So every time I look, ah! Every time I look up.
And creep.
It was funny. I was surprised every time, genuinely.
I said, man,
People be creepy. People be creepy. Yeah. No.
But no, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to the KUVO listeners. I'm sure are really excited to learn more about you guys. And if you haven't heard, I don't know where you've been, but you're here now. Yes.
I think it's appropriate to say mostly all our music is available at tankandthebangas.com. We have a really nice selection of merch. You should check out nice shirts and things like that. Boom. Yeah, you know. I got the drugs. GCD. All right, no, check us out. Love y'all. Thank you.